Okay, like I just said, just like when I come out here before, when we first started this thing. How long ago is that, Ronnie?
Gosh, been about, what, a couple months now?
Yeah, it's got to be like, what, 4 months or so?
At least,
We've been doing this. Just like the first time, I went to the library. I knew just what verses I wanted to use and everything. I got pages. They're all typed out and nice and neat, you know. I just copied them right off the web, you know, right out of the Bible site that I have. You got that Bible site?
Yes.
You know, the entire Bible on one page.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Bible Gateway is one I got.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, you know. I mean, you can look up any scripture you want, type in any subject or whatever, it'll bring you up different references of scripture. It's great. It's great. But in spite of that, all that, just to say that nothing compares with just reading this chapter just the way it is. All right, so I'm going to do that, and if I got time at the end of it, then I got a poem to go with it, because I just found this poem in the newest book that I have on page 144. And we were talking last time about it being like a game, you know, like about it being a football game, and how people ought to get excited about worshiping God. Why don't they? I still don't understand that, you know. How can you not get excited about worshiping God? I don't understand that. If you know Him, man, you ought to be excited about knowing Him. And about all the things that He's doing and He's going to do. Alright, like I said though, we're chapter 14 in the book of Revelation. And there's really nothing like just reading this through. So let me do that for you. Revelation chapter 14. Then I looked, and there before me was the Lamb, standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, who had his name and his Father's name written on their foreheads. And I heard a sound from heaven, like the roar of rushing waters, and like a loud peal of thunder. The sound I heard was like that of harpists playing their harps. And they sang a new song before the throne, and before the four living creatures and the elders. No one could learn the song except the 144,000 who had been redeemed from the earth. These are those who did not defile themselves with women, for they kept themselves pure. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They were purchased from among men and offered as first fruits to God and to the Lamb. No lie was found in their mouths. They are blameless. I can stop right here, and I feel like I got to stop right here just to tell you that these 144,000, it's not 144,000 male virgins. Okay, it doesn't say that. It says, no one could learn the song except the 144,000 who had been redeemed from the earth. That's how they're described, that had been redeemed from the earth. These are those who did not defile themselves with women, for they kept themselves pure. Okay? They didn't let women lead them astray. You see, foreign wives led Solomon astray. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. He built idols in high places and temples all over Israel to accommodate his wives. And in the end of his life, they led him astray into idol worship. That's what it's talking about here. When it says they didn't defile themselves with women. They didn't let women turn them away from the one true and living God, Jesus Christ. Okay? They kept themselves pure. It says, they follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They were purchased from among men and offered as first fruits to God and the Lamb. They were offered. We're going to get to that in the end of this chapter here. The last 7 verses. There's 2 gatherings. Make sure you're part of the first one. Alright? Alright. Let's just get on. Before I get off on a roll here, let's just get on. Verse 6. Then I saw another angel flying in midair, and he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said in a loud voice, "Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the springs of water." A second angel followed and said, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink the wine." You can see I ain't an angel, right? Can you tell that? Not the first one, not the second one, not the third one, all right? And not any of the other 3 that you're going to find in the rest of this chapter. Verse 8. Second angel followed and said, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adulteries." We'll get into Babylon the Great, especially Mystery Babylon the Great, a little bit later. A third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, "If anyone worships the beast and his image and receives his mark on the forehead or on the hand, he too will drink of the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath. He will be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment rises forever and ever. There is no rest day or night for those who worship the beast or his image." Don't be among them, all right? No rest day or night for those who worship the beast and his image, or for anyone who receives the mark of his name. This calls for patient endurance on the part of the saints who obey God's commandments and remain faithful to Jesus. Look, bottom line, it's like what the first angel said. Fear God, okay? And obey his commandments because they're not difficult. Remain faithful to Jesus. He paid it all for you so that you could be with him in heaven, with the Father. You want to be there. That's the first 12 verses of chapter 14. We'll pick up in verse 13 next time. You have a good day.